Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial. Today we're tackling Duik Bassel, which just came out a few days ago. Now we all know Duik. It's a very extremely powerful tool that's completely free as for After Effects. It's great for character animations, and with this newest update you can use it for a bunch of other stuff as well. Not just character animation, but pretty much any type of animation. It's a huge and super useful script, and it's all for free. You can download it by going to the Duik website, which is at whatever. Just Google Duik and it'll probably be the first result. And you can download it for Windows, Macs, etc, etc. Now, the topic for this tutorial is the animation blender. Now, they have documentations on GitHub, and I was having a really hard time following their documentation for this, and I know I wasn't the only one who had a hard time understanding this, because the way it's written is a little bit confusing. So I figured I'd make this video for other people who read this documentation and were kind of like, huh? So let's hop over into After Effects. And in After Effects, we have a very simple scene. We have a shape layer and just a solid that's our floor. Now open up Duik Bassel. That's what it looks like right here. And there's a bunch of tabs for rigging, animation, camera, a bunch of other stuff. And it's really, really useful. So I highly recommend going through each tab and seeing what each one does. Now, for the purposes of our tutorial, we're just going to keep this super simple. So we have the shape layer. I'll just rename it ball. Now we want to do 3 different animations for the shape layer, which will then be triggered by our animation blend tool. So we're gonna have a shrink, we're gonna have a row, and we'll have a position movements. So let's just do the shrink right now. So I press S for scale, do 100%, and then I'll change it to 20%. We'll play through. Alright, that's good enough. I'll mark this on the layer. You don't have to do this, by the way. I just do this to keep things organized for myself. So I press the asterisk for Windows users. For Mac, I think it's Alt and then 8 or something like that. And now I might just name this shrink. Again, you don't have to do this. I'm just a very organized person, so I like doing this. Let's just go over a little bit in the timeline, and I'll make a keyframe. And I'll want this row, so make it 200. So go from super small to super big. And again, I'll put the asterisk and I'll name this row. And now we want to animate the position. So I press P for position. For this, I only want to animate this going across. So what I did was I right click the position and I did separate dimensions, because I only want to animate the X position. I only want to animate it going horizontally, so I don't really need to worry about the Y position. So I'll just keyframe the X, and I think I'll just start over here, and then I will go over a little bit and keyframe here, and I'll play it. That's good enough for me. And I'll press U to show all my keyframes, and I'm just gonna add an easy ease on them. Now, the great thing about Duik Bassel is now it has these keyframe options. So you can add a linear keyframe, you can add easy in, easy out, blah blah blah, whole frames, and you can just with the press of a button, you can change your linear keyframes to having easy ease. So it's super useful. Cool. So our next step is we want to make a marker on the entire timeline to indicate the 3 different animations that we have. So I will press the asterisk and I'll name this shrink. Now we want to have this last for the entire duration of our shrink animation. So what you want to do is hold down Alt and hold down onto the marker, so that this extends, this includes the entire keyframes, the entire shrink animation. This is pretty important, so don't forget to do this step. Now I'm going to do the same thing for row. So I'm going to add a marker to the layer. I'm going to name it row. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hold down Alt and left click it and just drag it across until it encompasses the row keyframes. I'll do that again for the move. So I'm naming this move. Cool. So what you want to do next is select the ball. And so this is the part that was really confusing to me. And the animation tab right here, if you press tools, there is something called animation blender. If you click on it, it doesn't do what you want to do. So what I found after like much trial and error is that you actually want to go into the rigging tab, which is all the way to the left. And you see these different tabs. You want to go to the links and constraints tab. And there's also another animation blender. This is the correct animation blender. You want to pick this one. The other one is not going to do what you want it to do. So you press this. You would select in the drop down menu which one you want to select. So mine is just comp 1. So just name it to comp 1. And control from, you have it so you control it from a different composition, that sort of thing. But right now I only have one composition, so again that'll be comp 1 and they'll match the name of this. And I'll click OK, blend. And what that does is it creates a controller for our ball. And it shows up as this like weird like trophy blender thing. I don't really know. The icon's not really that important. I mean, you can change it if you want, however. It's really not that important for our purposes. Yeah. What we really want is the animation blender. Okay, so this is the really handy part. So let's just go over in our timeline. And let's make a new marker. And let's name this row. And as you can see, it did a rowing animation without us, like moving over our keyframes or whatever. That's because the animations are triggered by the marker's names. So this has to match exactly the name of this marker. Now let's add another marker. I want this to move. And you'll see, it does move. So this is really, really cool, really, really powerful. You can do it like a whole bunch of stuff. You can change it to loop so that this move will like loop forever. So maybe your ball rolls into something big and then it loops, forever. You can have it. You can check on and off blending. So you check off blending. It's very like abrupt. It doesn't really like blend in between the different like transitions to different like marker times. Let's add the shrink. So now it shrinks, and since I have it on loop, I'll just shrink forever and add a move. So it shrinks forever and then it moves. So yeah, I think this is really cool. You can change the interpolation, from linear to ease, so that it won't be as abrupt jump from the different markers. You can change like the duration. Yeah, you probably don't want it like too high of a number because I found that it gets kind of funky, but if you have it like a smaller keyframe, then it like changes like the easing. So yeah, I think I've like covered it pretty much. I wanted to create this video because I thought the documentation for this was pretty confusing, so I figured if I'm having problems and I know other people are having problems, I might as well make a video about it. I didn't go over the other Duik Bassel features. There's a lot. There's also this great character animation rigging tutorial by Jake. So I would highly recommend watching that video. He also doesn't cover everything that's in Duik Bassel. So if you want more videos about this tool, I'm happy to make them. Just let me know in the comments. And I hope this video taught you guys something and that was comprehensive. If you have any questions, just leave them for me in the comments. Alright, thank you guys.